All right. So in place of like a release, I just asked you guys know I'm gonna be posting this stuff, and if at any point you need me to stop and mark something that you want taken out, just let me know because I don't have paper releases right now. I don't know if you guys do that. Most of everybody who's been helping me is super Jewy, just like me, so they're all into like the make sure you tell them, make sure you don't get them to they might sue you. So, Susie Reed, Mike Merk, thank you guys so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Literally, I've been obsessing over starting this up and getting it rolling for about like 2 months now, and it's been a lot of people coming in together and helping me, and I haven't talked to you in like a year. Yeah. And you're just like, yep, sure, I'll go on a podcast.
And we haven't spoken since we just met.
Yeah, like it's been like 3 minutes, three whole minutes, and I've been doing my research on you now because she's like she's bringing you by, so I was like,
oh no,
okay.
What'd you find out?
You're funny dude.
Oh,
you guys perform at the same spot, right?
Yeah, AC Jokes.
Yeah, you guys do. I saw a little bit of the podcast, and then I got yanked on by a 2-year-old. So it's tough to do research when you got a full-time family.
Yeah.
So what do you guys got going on? What's new in the world of Atlantic City comedy?
It's a good question.
Well, we just opened another room at Resorts Casino.
Okay.
So AC Jokes has been around for about 5 years. We were bouncing around. We started off in like a small bar show, kind of.
Okay.
One of our founders, Matt Bridgestone, did shows at La Fromage, which I think means the cheese or something like that.
Okay. I'm gonna do fromage.
It's
if I
closed
remember
now.
from Dexter's Lab.
And then he moved to Scores in Taj Mahal.
Nice.
And then we all got together and kind of actually formed AC Jokes, which was like in the back of an abandoned pier behind Caesars.
Mm.
But we got people to go to these shows, and then we got at the Trop, we got at the Bally's, and then COVID happened, and now we're still at Tropicana, and we just opened an awesome room at Resorts.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like 300 people.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's an old school theater. It's really cool.
And you guys had this all set up pre-COVID?
No. COVID put everything kind of backwards. We had
we had parking lot shows for a minute there.
Yeah, we had three locations, and then Susie did it with us. We did drive-in shows.
Yeah.
We were one of the first. Actually, we were the first ones on the East Coast.
Okay.
I think there's only one person before us that did a drive-in show in Alaska.
Oh wow.
And they did it like a week before we did it, and then we were the first ones to do a drive-in show.
Nice.
Which was pretty cool. Then we saw them start popping up.
Mm-hmm.
We just wanted to keep making people laugh. Now Susie joined us. She's like she's not a resident, but she pretty much is.
Okay.
Because she's there like all the time with us now.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. I mean, we have shows every night.
Mm-hmm.
We get to make people laugh. We get to share our depression with the world.
Yeah. It's like when me, my brother, and a bunch of our friends got started comedy 215, like you guys have AC Jokes. So most of South Jersey, Philly area, our headliner Chris Smith would do like Helium. He would do like Laugh House, a lot of other places.
Laugh House, wow, that's old school.
I know. He's trying to get back into. I think he's in the makings of like starting his own theater. He wants to start his own place, probably like Morrisville, like middle, like Bucks County, PA area.
Yeah.
So he's going to be on in a couple of weeks when his schedule frees up. So yeah, definitely before you leave me all the descriptions and all the links to everything. I can lay it on your videos, on my page and everything.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now,
we went on the road. I took her to Ohio for the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
You never been to Ohio before?
No. To do comedy.
How was it? Was it awesome?
It was Ohio.
Okay. I was gonna say, was it like overwhelming, or was it just like,
the show
this is exactly
was amazing.
Okay.
It was really cool. It was in this place called Wiley's, that Dave Chappelle just bought.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
so like I got to see like Dave Chappelle's store and like
That's awesome.
because he's the goat, so it was like just really cool to be there.
Fucking hell. That's awesome.
Yeah, oldest comedy club in Ohio.
Yeah.
Wiley's. He bought the building.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to go out and do comedy in different places.
I miss it greatly. Yeah. Like I haven't been up in front of a mic since like about 6 months to a year before COVID started, and then Brittany got pregnant, and I'm having a baby in the midst of all this shit. Like they almost didn't let me in the delivery room. That's how nuts this stuff was.
Yeah.
And,
well, you know what they say? It's all about the delivery.
Zing.
It's for Susie. She loves puns.
I do.
She loves the good dad joke.
I do.
Nice. We get a lot of those in my house for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Susie, I started following you since you know, way back when,
Yeah.
you know, when you were the ginger rapper,
Yeah.
you know, when you were busting rhymes at our Mount Laurel house with all the roommates and whatnot. So, you know, I've stayed, you know, not like diving into the social media because you know, I'm not big on, you know, scrolling through, but like every time I'm on there, I'm on social media, I see a picture of you like you're on a fucking mountain somewhere, or you're doing stand up, or I mean, next thing I know, you're gonna be skydiving, and I'm sure you've already done that.
Yeah. Twice.
That's awesome. You live a very active, like nonstop, let's go kind of life, and I love that.
Yeah.
Where do you think that drive comes from?
Suicide.
Word.
That was dark.
You want to go a little bit? Would you care to elaborate for the audience?
If I stop moving, I'll die.
Okay.
That's a real thing.
That's a real
thing.
Yeah,
no, I feel that way on occasion.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's like when you sit still, you have like a lingering anxiety, like I gotta get the fuck up and do something.
Some anxiety is more than others.
Yeah. I just feel like I'm just like happier when I'm moving. Like, you know, like I feel like life is so short. Like I just want to go like experience everything that I can.
Yeah.
And like when I'm moving, like it doesn't even matter like what I'm like. I most of the time don't care what I'm doing.
Right.
As long as I'm doing it with like people that I love.
And you're happy doing it.
Happy doing it. Like I hate the beach, but like all my friends are there, I'm gonna be happy as hell on the beach.
You're gonna try and be as happy as you can in a place you don't like.
I just have to be under an umbrella.
Yeah. Yeah. You burn easy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ginger
freckles up.
Yeah.
SPF 100.
Yeah. Easily.
Right.
I was out in my sister lives down in Tennessee, like near Chattanooga, and we went out on, she has like a boat.
Okay.
So me and my other sister, like, so all three of us were on this boat, we're all having a good time, and I was putting SPF 100 on every hour, and they do not have skin like me, and they were cracking jokes.
Was it washing off, or?
No, I just have to make sure that I keep putting it on, because that's like the reapply is the most important thing.
How much did you put on?
I was putting on SPF 100 every hour on the hour.
So you just look like powder at most points. Like you're just solid white.
Yeah, no, just as white as could be.
Did you have an alarm set? Did you actually do that?
I've just been alive for long enough to know that I need to do this.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Yeah.
So basically, throughout the course of the day, you had 2,400 SPF.
No, 100%. But they were making fun of me the whole time because they were like, "You're just so over the top about it." I got sunburnt.
You actually got sunburnt.
I have pictures to prove it. My sister still makes fun of me.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I was like, we're down south. I have to put on more sunblock than usual.
Isn't there like a myth that like after 24 SPF or something, it doesn't matter?
It's like after 50. Yeah. Like, have you guys ever put on 100 SPF?
I rarely put on sunblock.
I've never seen it actually.
I'm a straight up asshole.
Imagine just like smearing maple syrup on your body.
Oh my god.
And that's what it is.
Sounds so hot.
No, it's
I'm into it. Mike and I are gonna get along very well.
Yeah, I can see it. Sounds very Canadian.
See, I'm one of those people, like my wife tries to tell me, put fucking sunblock on, because I will always burn and I will always bitch because it's just who I am. And then I'll be like, yeah, everybody take care of me. And then she's like, I told you, asshole.
Yep.
You know.
Would it make more sense to put on 250s?
It makes sense just to stay inside.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, would it be less maple syrupy? Is what I'm saying.
Well, I can get maple syrup in my house. Like depending on where this podcast goes, I may need to bring it in more often.
Yeah.
So there you go.
You know what I mean? If this doesn't work out, I have ideas for that webcam.
Thank God you didn't have a sunroof.
Hell yeah. OnlyFans.
OnlyFans, that's right. You know, who wants to see an angry Jew fucking get naked? Let's do it.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Right.
That's the question.
That's real.
So what are you doing when you're not doing the army and you're not doing and the comedy? What else are you doing? CrossFit. I see that on Facebook and on Instagram too. Where do you go?
It's this place called Saltwater.
That place looks like it eats Planet Fitness for breakfast.
Yeah, no, it does. I bought
it just shits liberals.
Yeah, I have this guy. His name's Coach Paul,
okay.
And he's helping me train for what's called the tactical game. So it's like a mixture of like shooting and CrossFit.
Okay.
So like I do a lot of the stuff at my like where my job is because I have like a gym built for that.
Okay.
And then like occasionally I'll go into saltwater with him to like do these specific like workouts where you wear a vest and like you're trying to like jump over little walls.
That makes sense because one of your shorts was emulating him, I guess, and I was like, who the fuck is Paul?
Yeah.
And you're like throwing a 300-pound bag. I was like, okay, now I get it.
Yeah, he's the best coach on the planet. I love this guy.
Word.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We call him Daddy Paul.
Daddy Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Paul, he's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and if I'm not doing that, I'm riding my motorcycle. I just bought a dirt bike.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. 2 wheels is always good.
2 wheels is always
good. You got a sporty? You got a sporty or a Dyna?
I have a 1200 Sportster.
Okay.
Yeah, it's technically a Nightster, but I put a 48 tank on it. People don't know the difference.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a 03 Fat Boy.
Mm-hmm.
She needs a lot of work right now.
Yeah.
Get her road ready. At least my neurotic ass. Because if I hear one thing rattle, it's going right to barbs.
Nice.
I'm such a.
I was running around with a flat tire all day.
Really?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. We were stopping I was like, it's going flat about every 20 miles, so we'd hit a Wawa, refill it, and then just keep going.
So you got mag wheels then?
Yeah,
no tubes?
No, they were flat.
No, I mean like that. Instead of spoke wheels, you have mags. Like yeah. Because if you had spokes, there'd be inner tubes. You'd be fucked. You wouldn't be able to do that.
No. Isn't a flat tire some joke about your stomach? Is that like a reference?
Is that like a reference to a fupa?
Is it?
Oh, is that what that is?
I don't know. It just sounds like it.
Yeah, that does sound like it.
Like a
tire
vagina.
stomach.
Like when somebody.
Do I have a flat tire?
No.
Ooh.
I'd say you're like.
Ooh. He's like the way you said that and looked at it was like it didn't turn you on, but it also like
she's visualizing.
Yeah, it was like a bad ooh.
I feel like you're like me and you have the hairy bagel when you do one of these. I imagine you're not just a nared body, right?
No,
not like from the other guys.
I don't have 100 SPF there.
It's not like the other guys. Just you may think because of the beard I have a hairy body, but shit.
I don't know. Actually, it's funny. A girl texted me yesterday. She said, "You have hair on your nipples." You have hairy nipples. I'm like, I think around it. Like I wasn't even sure. I had to check. Sorry. That flat tire thing just got me all sidetracked.
That was a cool random thought.
Yeah.
I dig it.
ADD, man. It happens.
I hear you.
You're just, that's funny. Like, where'd that come from?
Okay, so career-wise, are we full-time comedian, Mike, or are we
full-time?
Full-time. You're getting paid for it and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike is a pro comic.
Comic.
And I'm a famous comic.
Nice.
She's more famous than me.
Nice.
Yeah.
She got more TikTok, more Instagram followers, more people who like her in life. I just know how to write a joke. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, it's like when I got into sales, all I knew how to do was talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't know what a fucking interest rate was or anything. You just grind along and see where you go. And 10 years later,
well, you did know what an interest rate was. You're Jewish,
No,
you said, right?
No.
Come on, stop it. We're born with that.
All right, so yes, normal Jewish upbringing, you would know all that, but I did a lot of drugs. And they're like, no, go away. You're going to steal stuff. Get him out of here.
That's the interest.
I remember forever. Compounded.
Sounds like your bubby.
Well,
is it your bubby?
No, my bubby was a little bit less shrill than that, but she was short and terrifying.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And yes, she was bubby, and then I had a.
It's not that guilt thing you was, huh? The Jewish.
Are you Jewish as well?
Yeah.
My fucking boy chick. I'm happy to hear that. Holy shit! I knew we were gonna be friends. My editor's a Jew as well.
Oh wow! One more. We have a minion.
Jake Lindowski.
Lindowski. Wow. Oh, he's Ashkenazi.
I guess.
Right, that's Eastern.
We're both pretty fucking awful Jews. We have, I have tattoos.
So
I eat bacon.
What makes a good Jew?
I think you gotta wear a hat.
Picking up pennies? What are you talking about?
You gotta.
A sweater.
Yeah, I mean, I have plenty of good sweaters. I don't like growing my sideburns out that long.
Oh yeah, that's.
It conflicts with my hairstyle choices.
Oh my God, Zach texted me something the other day. He was like, "What's the difference between Orthodox and Hasidic?" And I just texted him back my hair.
Yeah, kind of.
I really don't know the difference. That's how bad.
So you're a Jew. Did you ever go to Israel?
Yes, I have.
Ah, you did the whole bar mitzvah confirmation. You're an FPJ, huh?
Yeah, I've done it.
Full-blown Jew.
Full-blown Jew.
That's why you got it. Yeah.
And then some of us deviate over to the dark side of the force, and others don't.
Yeah.
If you're me or my brother, you just riddle yourselves with tattoos. Have you ever seen You People with Jonah Hill?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that scene in the beginning where he's sitting there and his grandparents are busting his balls about having tattoos and dress. That's me and my brother to a T. That whole scene. It's like, why are you dressed like that? They won't bury you in a Jewish cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be dead, Bubby. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. What am I? That worm's not circumcised. What the fuck is this about?
Oh my
God. It's a myth too.
Yeah. I think they stopped doing that after the Holocaust.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Dark.
I'm serious. I think I think that's why they stopped doing it.
They stopped using numbers after the Holocaust.
Well, no, I think they stopped allowing people to stop being buried in Jewish cemeteries. I may be wrong. I'm often wrong.
It sounds like it could be true.
It sounded good at one point, and I ran with it, so it could be true. It could be complete bullshit. So fact.
I'm gonna go with truth on this one.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm convincing.
That's one of those things where I could Google it, but I don't think I will. You know what I mean?
Plus, what good can come from that?
I'm gonna Google it and then message you guys later.
Screenshot.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Well, listen. Have you ever been to a Seder, Susie? I was gonna say Jewy.
Which one's that one? I dated a Jewish guy for 6 years.
Pick an awful meal. You're probably right.
Yeah, where you do the gefilte fish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's most Seder's.
That's just Friday night.
See,
We like dipped honey or apples and
That's-
honey.
that's Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah, Rosh Hashanah.
I always get the Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah. Yom Kippur is the one where it's
You
like
fast.
our day of confession.
Yeah, that's the one day.
The one day Jews
That's it.
confess.
Yeah, I dated a Jewish guy for 6 years, so I go to like all those like weird little holidays. Not
Jewish
weird.
by
but just-
injection.
Yeah,
Nice.
Jewish by injection, 100%. Well, we were doing the thing where like you like read from the pamphlet, like the story of something.
Yep.
I don't know. I like dissociated through the whole thing.
Egypt, sure.
I don't remember, but all I know is that like his Jewish mother was in the middle of reading it and just like stopped and took a deep breath, and she was like, "I don't even care if you guys are married or not. I would just really like a grandchild." And I was like, "I'm not at that place in my life." She's like, "I don't even care if they have red hair at this point."
That's been described to me by most of my family as like a transcending like need for just for expansion of the bloodline kind of stuff. It used to be he better be Jewish, he better be Jewish, like it better be that, and then it became I just want to play with some grandkids. Could you put it in somebody so my lineage could live on?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
Thank you for the stress ball again, by the way.
Yeah, you're welcome.
How did he know I was anxious? It's weird. It's a Jew thing. He's like, I can feel it.
That's how you're born, with anxiety.
I feel guilt in the air. He must be Jewish.
Yeah.
As you guys were turning the corner.
Yeah.
I found this out at the Seder this year that the Jews did not build the pyramids.
No.
They did not. They actually built 2 cities in Egypt, but they had nothing to do with the pyramids.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure they got the contract though.
Yeah.
I'm sure they got the order, and they're like, well, I'll do it, but you know.
Yeah. But they could negotiate the right rate. They left. Like, we're leaving Egypt. This is bullshit.
Yeah. You don't want to pay me? Fuck you. I'm out. I love bashing on our people. It's the best.
Yeah.
So what else? What else? Anything new? You have a show on the 28th, I saw?
28th.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Berlin, New Jersey.
That's the one you were telling me about before.
Berlin, New Jersey.
Roger that.
Last Friday every month. It's Robert's Bar and Grill, which is next to Paris Caterers. I got Susie's done it. She's gonna do the next one. I got Reverend Bob Levy next month. This Friday. I don't know if this episode will air, but before then. But if it does,
probably not. I'm looking about a week and a half before.
Well, you just missed a great show then last
Really?
Friday. It
Yeah.
was Gino Bisconte. He was amazing.
I had to be there.
Yeah.
I'll definitely try and make that if I can, but my life gets insane all the time. Hence obsessive podcast.
Well, we're gonna get you to go on stage there.
Fuck yeah, dude, I'm ready. Like if I can get on the stage, I'll
I'll
at least try.
Do it like I did to Susie. Ask her how her first experience was.
You ain't gotta force me, man. I talk to people I don't want to talk to every day, and I want to do that in a bad way.
No, Mike did that to me though. We were at we had a convention going on at Bally's, and there was like a couple thousand people there, and we like knew each other for a while, but we haven't like sat down and had a conversation.
Okay.
Well, first of all, the way we met was hysterical.
Go on.
You can tell the story.
No, she just called me a filthy Jew, basically.
Not.
Nice.
That's
As
the
most
first thing she
friends
Well,
said
he
to me.
started to like I've
my
known him. I knew
experience.
him like for a minute, and then we sat down. And I didn't know he was a full-time comedian, and then I also didn't know that he was Jewish. So like, it's something in my little brain was just like, I need to make him laugh, and I need to roast the shit out of him. So I made the other 2 people that we were with like super uncomfortable, but he was rolling with all of it because I was like, you know, it was like, how are we gonna split the bill? And I was like, you could just use your Jew gold that's around your neck.
Not the decoy.
Not the decoy. Yeah. You knew exactly the reference.
I
But
did,
then my friend Alice was like, did they really have gold around their neck? And I was just like,
I would have rolled with that
Yeah.
hard. I would have rolled with that hard, and I got one around my ankle in case of emergency.
yeah. Oh my god.
It actually happened at work. I'm in sales, and my producer is also my finance manager. We're dealing with a pretty irate customer. After we take his temperature down a bit. I walk in. I'm like, so is everything good now? He's like, listen, I don't mean to bitch about the numbers. I'm just a huge Jew. And now, mind you, I go, oh, boy, chick, just like I did with you,
Right.
just like Mazel Tov. And Jason's in the same office, also a Jew. He does the same thing. We make a big deal. This guy already knows he's been caught in it. And we go out onto the lot to go pick something out. And then he goes, yeah, I'm actually not really Jewish. And I'm like, oh, you got super fucking lucky. You just got 2 people who could give less of a shit.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
made fun of.
That's real
Yeah.
though. But I
Did you give
kept
the
telling-
discount? Is the question. I'm sorry. That's what I want to know. Did you get the discount?
No, fuck that guy.
All right, because he wasn't actually Jewish.
No, you don't get the Jew
It's a
discount.
little Jew secret for everybody.
Yeah, you gotta shave your penis and you'll get a discount.
Yeah. Oh, he's circumcised. It works. All right.
Amazing.
Go ahead. 10%
But
off.
it's something in my brain that I kept trying to make Mike laugh, so I was telling him all like my best stories and shit like that.
Mhm.
And then when we were doing this convention, there was an actual comedy show there with 300 people. 500 people, and a couple of the comics dropped out last minute.
Mhm.
And Mike pretty much was it was like an hour before the show. He's like, I need you to do some of your stupid stories on stage. You're going to do stand up tonight.
Nice.
And I was like, no, I can't do that. And he was like, well, you're going to. And the show started, and I was like, I guess I'm doing this. And he threw me up on stage, and I did
5 minutes.
5 minutes, something
Mhm.
like that. And I told my stupid stories, and people laughed. And I was like, this is the attention that I crave.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is cheaper than therapy, and I get it all out.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It was
That's awesome.
perfect.
Now, cooking with Caucasians. I
Yeah.
had to go pretty far back. Did you start that during quarantine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, COVID hit, and we weren't doing stand up, and I was teleworking, and there
Mm.
wasn't really much to do for the army for teleworking, so I was just home all day.
Just cooking with Caucasians.
Just started making TikToks. Yeah,
That's fucking awesome.
that was when it blew up.
Now you have an Easter egg in your TikToks. It's the fucking jar of mayonnaise.
Yeah.
My daughter and I uncovered that, and she's like, "What's with the mayonnaise?" And I'm like, I don't know. And we had to keep searching, and then I found out as I scrolled down because it was in, I guess, descending order where from your first one, and then you keep it there for safety.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
I have no idea.
Just some goofy ass shit.
Yeah, it was like I know, like I was like just like thinking about like what do white people love, and like I know white people love mayo.
It's
Like
okay.
people love mayo in general, but it was just like the stereotype.
Right
and
on.
When I made the
white.
first episode, I had no intention of making a series out of it.
Mhm.
It was a stand-up joke that I was doing. And I just started turning a lot of my stand-up jokes into TikToks, and then that TikTok blew up with like cooking with Caucasians. And people were like, give us another episode. So I just made something stupid up, just about like the mayo, and then people started like asking more about, because I was just like leaving the mayo like in the background.
Yeah, just like
there for
peeking behind a
safety.
pot somewhere.
Yeah.
And one time you had a knife on top of it. Like,
So it was going bad.
yeah, it was I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's just the little nuances that people will put in, and you kind of got to dive deeper, and I love that.
I got so much hate mail and DMs for that though.
Why?
Because they're like,
From
oh,
white people?
Yeah, from
No,
white
it's
people.
not
It's
good.
always from white people.
From
It's
white people.
stereotypical. You're not from the Caucasus region, therefore you're not Caucasian. You are a white person, and you hate yourself. And I was like, I do hate myself, but not like.
But not for the
that
reason you're saying it, fuckface. I have my own reasons.
Yeah.
God damn. Oh man, I'm sure.
Someone tried to copy her.
Yeah,
Really?
somebody did try to copy
Yeah, I
me.
trolled them. I trolled them hard, and I was like, "You're stealing creative material."
Was it called Cooking with Caucasians, or they have at least
Basically
enough?
doing the same
Yeah,
thing.
she was doing the exact same thing.
But that
But she was
happens
doing
every-
like more political stuff than I was. Like I wasn't trying to get political. I was just making jokes.
Question is, was she as white as you?
Yeah, we looked very similar too. People thought we were the same person.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you have a twin out there
I
stealing
have
your shit.
gingers all kind of look alike.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
A doppelganger.
Yeah.
Scary. I don't think I do anything interesting enough for anybody to impersonate me.
That's how you know you're winning, I guess.
I guess. I mean, maybe one day.
Yeah.
Some angry Jewish dude in South Jersey will go make a podcast.
Yeah.
No clue.
Pull dust off the mic.
Yeah, well, it's a little derivative, but I like it. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Anything else? What are you guys? What are you doing for work now besides the army?
I do the army.
Okay.
Yeah, so I do the army all day. I wake up like 7 a.m. I do army stuff all day, and then I'm done around like 4 or 5 p.m. Go home, shower, and then like hit the comedy club. Do like 1 or 2 shows a night.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you got a pretty decent schedule for what you're trying to do. That's awesome.
Where'd you get those shoes?
My shoes are his shoes.
They're your shoes.
The internet.
The internet?
Flower fans.
Okay. Oh, they're Vans.
Yeah.
They look like grandma's wallpaper.
Do they look like your grandma's
Well,
wallpaper?
my dead grandma, but yeah,
They look like the inside of a 2010 camper.
Yeah,
they're pretty cool.
I like them.
It's weird. Like
very old school.
Like now that I sell campers, I realize how weird people can be. Like you walk into like a 2013, random travel trailer. It's like walking into your grandparents' house. It's like the scene of that 70s show.
Did Billy ever tell you the stories about our trailer?
I feel
No.
like those shoes are what a grandma would wear if they were making meth. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I feel like if you were trying to blend your feet into
I'm not trying to
put
put
Victorian
your
home.
shoes, but I like
You're
the pattern.
You're making fun of my
All right, I'm
shoes.
sorry. I apologize.
You want us
They
to
look
deep dive
very
into
comfortable.
incel jokes? Because I'll start making incel jokes.
Bring it on.
I
Let's
apologize.
get a fucking back and forth roast gun battle. Battle it out.
It's not
Battle it
bad.
out.
It's not bad. You can watch our podcast.
Yeah.
Battle that all day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
is
we
it just
do.
you two shitting on each
Yeah,
other?
kind of, yeah.
Fantastic.
We had one guest and he started telling us about his sex life, and I was like, "You're a real incel." I was like, "You can't call the guests incels." I was like, "We can edit it out," but I think I said it a lot.
All right, so
Every other word.
yours and Billy's camper.
Yeah. So for the viewers who don't know, Dustin and I know each other through my little brother Billy. You guys used to live with each other.
Yep.
So growing up, we had a pop-up camper on our front lawn that we used to fucking rage in. like we would throw bangers in this camper right in the front lawn, like every single night, just like party after party, and it caught on that we're doing this. So my parents eventually like closed the pop-up camper down, but then we turned it into like a battle royale where you go up on top of it and throw each other off.
Awesome.
It was amazing.
Awesome. That's fucking great.
I love campers.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been camping since I was a kid. Like I went to Okanagan and Medford. I was there from like 7. Actually, one of my future guests, his name's Donnie. He wrote a book called When the Trees Become Walls. I used to go to camp with him.
Nice.
And he's coming in a few
months.
months.
Was it a Jewish camp?
It was not. It was a YMCA camp.
Okay. I'm writing a book.
Are you?
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's called Somebody Will Always Have a Bigger Truck Than You.
You know, do you find it ironic that after, you know, what happened back in the day, that Jews still wanted to go to camp?
Yeah, that is very ironic.
Yeah.
As long as
like every Jewish child is like, well, why do I take camp?
As long as they're not required to shower upon entry, I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they're fine with it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man! I just always thought that was weird. It's like, why would we? Like, you know, everyone talks about their Jewish camp experiences.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I never went to a Jewish camp.
But you went to a camp.
I went to a camp, but it was a YMCA camp, and I honestly didn't know what YMCA stood for the first like 2 years that I was going. But I went, you know, so I went. We did a lot of, you know, we were in mostly cabins the whole time, so fishing, hiking, hunting, and all that stuff. And we would, when I was like 14, 15, we did a ranger program, so we did like 100 and some odd miles on the Appalachian Trail, and then I got real big into that.
That's cool.
My wife's family is big into camping. I've spent a couple of nights, more nights than I care to admit in a pop-up, and my back will never forgive me for it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'll buy one, but they are pretty cool.
Yeah, they were just a ton of fun. It was just a ton of fun growing up. Like our parents just didn't know what to do with us, and all we wanted to do was drugs. And so we just hung out in the pop-up trailer. Yeah. And like we weren't allowed to have like sleepovers, but we lived in the trailer like throughout the summer, throughout the year, like. And we would have our friends come and sleep over in the trailer, and like our parents didn't know, so we'd make them sleep in like those weird little compartments.
How many leaves did it have pullouts, or did it just pop up
it had
once?
So it pulled out, and then it had 2 king-size beds on each side.
Nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Was it clean?
I mean, probably not after a while.
Yeah, it was like kind of clean. It was, like there were like child orgies in there. It was like weird.
We have a couple for sale, and you have 2.
Did you say child orgies?
Yeah.
I mean, when you throw backyard wrestling and campers into the mix, anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. My brother used to throw me off of 12-foot ladders through those foldable tables.
Yep.
And but they were plastic, so they would already collapse and it would click right back into place. No camera, nobody else, just my brother wanting a reason to choke slam his little brother.
Absolutely, 100%. That's what we did though. It was great. We had the trampoline too, right next to the trailer. So like we would jump off the roof onto the trampoline and like try to like make it onto the trailer. We played this game called No Touch the Ground Tag, which my dad was trying to explain to us. Like he's like, I raised you guys to be fearless. And we're like, you didn't really raise us, but whatever you need. But like we would run around, we would jump from like the trailer to the trampoline to the roof, like, and then we had like these like monkey bar things. You'd sprint across the monkey bars, and like how nobody died at our house growing up was wild.
The floor is lava.
That's kind of that's what it was.
Yeah,
it's the fucking 90s, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like the last decade where people were just kind of reckless with their kids.
Yeah.
And it started getting very like PC, watch your kids, like milk carton kids finally caught on from the 80s, and then late 90s they're like, all right, let's start worrying about these fuckers.
Yeah.
And we're already damaged.
Yeah.
We got puddle water in our veins, and
hell yeah.
Growing up in the city is so different.
Yeah, I can't do it. Where'd you grow up, Philly?
Queens.
Oh shit.
But like, you know, I mean, I wrestled with my brother too, but it was like in the living room.
Yeah.
I broke my brother's spleen with a field hockey stick.
Yeah. I gave my brother a noogie.
My brother put me in a dryer when I was 4 and turned it on heavy load.
Yeah, Billy hit me with a shovel once.
Oh, wow. I believe that.
Yeah. We would get drunk and beat the ever living shit out of each other for fun.
It's just the
I tell you what, for a little dude, he was a bitch to wrestle.
Oh yeah.
A bitch, and I wrestled in high school, and I like to think I'm a strong guy.
Yeah. But
fuck that kid for fucking making me look like a little bitch.
No, he was a fighter, like through and through.
Dude. Oh yeah, I miss him so much.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, you had a form about him actually.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. He's a beefy little kid. He would always he would tell me all the time. He's like, I just can't wait for this dude to fuck with me. I can't I was like, we know. Like I know you can kick ass. Like I know it through and through.
Well, when we were in the house together, he was that guy that got my ass up to go to the gym, and of course I fell off because I'm a lazy piece of shit. And that's what I do.
Yeah.
But just every day. Once you get a regimen in the kid, it was you couldn't stop him.
No, you couldn't stop him.
Yeah. How's his little one doing?
I haven't seen her or talked to her.
No.
No. No, she's not allowed to be around us.
Really?
Mhm.
Oh, that's a shame. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Now, I see you with a kid on Instagram all the time. Who's that?
So that's my sister's son.
Okay.
Yeah. So my older sister had a kid, Mason.
Nice.
And he's just the light of my life. And
Yeah.
I'm grateful that I get to be around him.
You look at him in those pictures like I look at my daughter. So
Yeah.
that's I can see that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. What do you guys do together? Anything?
We do a ton of stuff. We do I get to I'm like at a point in my life where like my sister just trusts me like to watch. Like I got him for like a weekend. Like I get him for weekends and stuff like that.
Nice.
And I just take him everywhere. Like we'll do we do a lot of Chuck E. Cheese. We do the boardwalk, trampoline places. Like
Nice.
we do the zoo. We do the aquarium. Like I love just like being his aunt. Like I get to be that like cool aunt. It's like we're gonna go do cool stuff together.
Do you give a bunch of give him a bunch of sugar before you send him back?
Yeah. I'm
like right before you give him back.
Yeah,
oh, it's the aunt and uncle rule. Like they're to have as much fun as possible while they're with me, and then fuck everything after that.
Yep.
Here's a pixie stick.
He won't stop shitting blue. I'm sorry, we had a great time.
But that really, so I got him one of the first times that I watched him, like when he was like, because I watched him like as a little baby. But like they're fragile, like so you can't really do anything. But I think he was 7 months old, and I was so excited because I was like, I'm gonna get him a Shamrock Shake.
Oh God!
I didn't know you couldn't do that.
No.
No, so I got him. I was like, we're gonna share a Shamrock Shake. We had a Shamrock Shake together. We ate French fries together, and then I left him with my sister. I went home, and Emily called me at like 2 a.m. and she's like, he's throwing up green all over he's just sleeping in green vomit. And I was like, oh, it must have been the Shamrock Shake. She's like, why would you give a 7-month-old a Shamrock Shake?
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Right? Why would you? Like I have a lot of nieces. My brother is not a fan of contraceptives. But I love right. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I get it, and I love my nieces. So keep it up, Eric.
Yeah.
But my oldest and my two oldest. It's kind of crazy. Like my oldest is 15, and I think my second oldest niece just turned 12 or 13. I don't know. They're getting too fucking big.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was in high school when my first niece was born.
Yeah.
And now I'm having like adult conversations with them. She's getting in trouble for stupid shit.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing it, and I'm just sitting back going, okay, when are they gonna be like, hey Dusty, you want to talk to this dumbass? Like, give them the experience, something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever. Do what most Jewish families do. Make them work for you for free, and keep them off the street. And that's exactly what my brother says. She's coming to my store, and she's gonna work, and I ain't fucking paying her. And I'm like, okay, child labor laws, fuck them, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Or not.
Wash the dishes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the man though. I love him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he was just like a light, like we got him like we just got him at the perfect time. It was just like a light in like a really dark time.
Yeah.
And he just kind of kept us all like plugging along.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
Mason,
yeah.
Mason. Isn't that like does that mean like strength?
Whatever it means, all I know is that his dad named him that, and we thought it was just like a cute name, and then he's like, well, it's because he's my son. And I was like, that's the
wow.
best son
Way
ever.
to take away from what I was thinking. Because he got like a stonemason strength, a mason jar strength, right?
I fell on a mason jar.
You got the Freemasons, right?
Yeah.
Which is like power.
Yeah.
And then you got my son.
I'm such a fucking nerd. I wanted to name my daughter Evelyn so I can call her Eevee like the Pokemon.
Hell yeah.
I'm such a nerd. I don't know if you told from all the swag I got hanging.
Yeah.
I know that if I ever spawn a kid, I have to name her Susie the Third.
Susie the Third?
Yeah. Okay. My mom is Susan Senior.
Okay.
I'm Susie Junior.
Okay.
And then we need a Susie the
Well,
Third.
it's SR3.
Yeah.
Yeah, SR3.
SR3.
Yeah. Sounds like a Terminator model number.
I hope I have 2 girls though, because I want to name another one Lily Ginger, so I can call her Lil Ginge.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I challenge you to do that.
I hope so.
I'm sure. I feel like you already decided it, but now I dare you.
Yeah, no, I 100% want to do it. If it's a son,
obviously.
it's
Dare to have unprotected sex.
Yeah.
I mean, you create them however you choose and with whom you choose, but when you name them, remember this.
I dare you to go out there and fuck somebody.
Yeah. Procreate in the name of a bet.
Yeah.
Twice.
The first episode, ladies and gentlemen, we're creating sex contracts.
Twins.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
If you get twins, that's like the win right there.
Yeah.
Right?
I could probably find some at like a park or something to bring them home.
Well, that's just kidnapping.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So moving on, is the comedy scene you guys kind of hang around? You guys got a good network? Are they like? I noticed some comedy circuits will be a little nitpicky with each other, kind of like biting at each other's ankles, or is everybody like super supportive and trying to bring you up, give you good notes, or are they just there for themselves?
I get the good notes vibes.
Okay.
For the most part, I'm like
fuck them all.
I'm the newest comic there, so like a lot of
Okay.
them like. At least the comics I work with, like at AC Jokes, and even the ones that I see, like just like at the open mics, like Michelle, like they take what I'm doing and like they take it seriously, and they're like, if you do it like this, or if you like tweak it here, like this is what you're doing really well, and that's just kind of been like my experience with it. Yeah.
Nice.
It's always been the case with comedians, is that sometimes people are over anxious to help.
Yeah.
Right, and some people are just their own thing, but as a community, no matter where you are, everyone's following the same dream.
Yeah.
Right, so like it's really cool when you meet some comics from like a different city or town.
Yeah.
And you share kind of like this thing that no one else kind of shares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's always people are like it doesn't matter what level they're on.
Right.
That's the thing that's cool about it. There was a really cool story where me and Matt Bridgestone were hanging out at the opening of Ocean Casino.
Okay.
And Russell Peters was there. And one of the guys who works with us, Yossi Thomas, opened for him. And Matt came over to him and was like, hey, my buddy opened for you, Yossi Thomas. He goes, you guys are comedians? He goes, yeah, we're comedians. And they're trying to rush Russell into this club.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were opening, this new Ivan Kane club or whatever. Like, hey, Russ, we got to go. He goes, hold on a second. I got to talk to these guys. And like, we're sitting there talking comedy. Right, we're talking about how he started, when it made a difference. Matt was asking him a couple like tips on comedy. And they're like, Russ, we gotta go. He goes, hey guys, relax. I'm talking to some fucking comedians right now.
Right.
Like he stopped them 3 times. We're like, dude, we don't want to
good.
keep you. And he was like, no, dude, I'd rather talk to you.
To coach and give support.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like
good.
it's just one of those things that comedians share. No matter what. Like, yeah, we can be petty with each other. Yeah, we get jealous of each other sometimes because we're like, damn, I wish I'd thought of that. You know. But in general, it's like it's the camaraderie that exists that I don't think anyone can explain unless you're in it.
Yeah, I got really lucky with the group of guys I started with. I mean, I started when I was like 17. I think my first open mic was at like a pizza place, and then we later got involved more heavily in like bar scenes and whatnot. So from the time where I wasn't even able to go stand in the bar, like I had to stand at the door with the doorman, and it was funny. Like one of the shows we were at, I forget where it was. It was someplace out by Clementon, and the doorman was actually doing an open mic as well. So he's like sitting there making sure I don't walk too far into the bar. And he's like, I'll be right back, don't move. And then went and did 8 minutes, came back, he's like, all right, you're up, bud. And then I was like, all right, this is fucking weird. And then I got old enough and I'm involved with it more. But there was a lot of, like our headliner, my brother, myself, believe it or not, my dad did stand up too.
Cool.
Yeah, we come from a long line of people who just don't give a shit about talking to anybody. So it's literally, we'll do it in front of crowds. We don't care. But we would always like give notes on, if somebody wanted to come slide in and try and do a couple of minutes, like, come on, get up there. Like, hey, listen, next time this is what I would do. And then like other scenes, they're not like that. Florida, I will say, was very nice though. You ever done any open mics in Florida? Or I did Fort Lauderdale Comedy Club with my brother. We did 2 guest spots, me and him. I think I went first and then he closed. They were so nice. Like we just called randomly and like, hey, you guys got open mics? They're like, yeah, you want to come? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, where are you guys from? We're from Jersey. Oh shit, that's awesome. Yeah, you're our guest spot. You guys can do 15 minutes apiece, right? Yeah, okay. Come on.
Nice.
And they were packed. It was weird. Like they were packed. It was like a regular like Friday, Saturday thing for them. And we were down in Florida visiting family like Jews do. And we're like, we should just do this. And we did.
Yes, that's
We're everywhere. We're everywhere. Fighting the alligators. All right. So what else? You said you got the show on Friday coming up.
Coming up.
And how about you? What do you got coming up, Susie?
Started a podcast. We haven't aired it yet.
You haven't aired it yet, so you're kind of like like I am.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, that's awesome. Let's podcast each other's podcast. I'll drive to Tom's River and come to you guys if you guys want.
We're right outside of Atlantic City.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Honey, I gotta go to Atlantic City.
It's called
They
LOL.
came here for me.
It's called LOL. That's traumatizing.
LOL, that's traumatizing.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Talking about trauma.
We just talk about life and like really,
We get deep, man. I don't know if people are ready for it when we release this thing.
Yeah.
What it's gonna be like. It's gonna blow people's minds.
Wow.
Yeah. It's gonna blow your parents' mind.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Igor's gonna call us. Are you guys okay?
Are your parents not privy to your trauma?
Probably not.
No.
They think they're person.
Well, that's good. That means they're not the general main cause of the trauma.
Yeah.
Usually.
It's real honest. That's the whole point.
Right on.
That's where the best stuff is.
Yeah.
We have an old one that we used to do that's still up on YouTube called Detrimental Solutions.
I saw that.
Yeah.
That's the one I saw some clips.
Yeah, we do that live too sometimes. Like we'll do Detrimental Solutions live where we both go up on stage together and like ask the crowd like, do you have anything you want life advice on?
It's awesome.
It's so much fun.
So what do we just like? You just go there and just start talking about war stories and all kinds of shit that's messed with you over the years?
Yeah, I mean we kind of start off like the basics. We kind of just start off with like what's going on with you this week.
Right.
And like a lot of times like it just kind of like leads into like, oh, this like reminds me of this that happened, and like, or even just like our weeks in general are pretty traumatizing.
I mean, the truth is,
we like go in there and Mike's like, how was your week? I was like, my mom's missing.
Oh, shit.
Right.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah. It's got a weird diagnosis
Yeah, it's
from
like
the
Mark
doctor.
Waldo, but we're Susan Senior.
Hell yeah.
No.
Well, if there's anything I can do to help on my end, let me know.
Yeah.
I can be very annoying, and I can get people's information in front of a lot of faces against their will. So if you let me know,
Awesome.
Yeah.
let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
You still doing all those crazy voices?
When it calls for it,
Yeah.
when it calls for it, and that's actually I've turned. I don't know if Billy ever told you, but the main one has turned into probably one of my best bits.
Has it?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is it the helicopter where they call the police?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I mean,
I still to this day I still tell people that story.
I still tell people that story. At the time, it sucked.
Of course.
And I was terrified for your brother because I used his phone.
Oh no.
And like they came for him.
Yeah.
And it was all right. So have you been downloaded on this story?
No.
All right. So, I got arrested for citing false public alarm to the Mount Laurel Police Department. That is the legal equivalent of calling in a bomb threat.
Yeah.
I got it by doing a prank phone call for a bunch of recovering addicts in an Oxford house. And I'm in there, and it was like our ritual. Like we would come back from it was usually house meeting night, and we would go, we'd all do a meeting together, and we'd come back, and it was time to get Dustin on the phone and fuck with somebody. Like I had a guy, I'd be like, this is the Party Animal Automated Hotline. You press 1 for more options, and I had the guy pressing like 45 different numbers, and then this one. So we got a little bit more ballsy, and we started calling people from the back of, meeting lists and stuff like that. People I know, like if they heard me on the phone, it would take 2 seconds for them to realize who I am. Yeah. But I've always been the guy that says, if you're going to prank phone call somebody, it's got to be somebody you know, and they can't know it's you because you can call somebody random and be like, I'm old, and they'll be like, all right, how can I help you? You know what I mean? So you got to be able to convince them you're somebody else. I call a guy, I'm not going to use his name because he's a real person. He's a gay meth head from Brooklyn, and he talks just like what I would imagine if you took Jim Brewer's impression of Joe Pesci and put a little bit of stank on it.
Yeah.
Kind of like this, you know what I'm saying? Like just something like that.
That's
so thank you. I call him up, and I convince Mario. I'm gonna cut his name out afterward. Jason, cut his name out, please.
It's me.
No,
I'm Mario.
Yeah, you gotta cut that out too. You gotta cut that out too. You want to throw something I gotta cut out in?
No.
Cool. All right. So said person. Call him up, and I convince him I'm a 6'8", 290-pound black dude stuck in a tree, high on cocaine with a glow-in-the-dark T-shirt that says "Big Titties" on the back.
Big titties on the back.
Big old titties on. I actually have to back away from the mic because I get very loud with this impression. And mind you, I've done this impression for black dudes in jail. I've done this impression for anybody you can possibly imagine, and everybody finds it hilarious. So if anybody finds it offensive, you can suck my Jewish balls. Anyway, so I go, listen, is this so-and-so? And he goes, yeah, it's me. Who's this? I'm like, my name is Dewan, and listen, I need your help with something, man. I'm like in the woods near your house, stuck in a motherfucking tree. And he goes, you're stuck in a tree? How did you get? I'm high on cocaine. I was running through some backyards for some exercise, and then a dog chased me up this tree. I need you to get some Crisco and a ladder and bring my black ass down off this tree. And he goes, how do I find you? How do I find you? Who is this? He's like, I told you. My name's Dewan, and I'm a big ass black dude stuck in a tree with a glow in the dark T-shirt that says "Big Titties" on the back. And I shit you not, this paranoid meth head thought the character Dewan was in serious danger. Now, mind you, I've spoken to Mario on hundreds of occasions.
Yeah.
Blank his name out again. I can't stop saying his name.
It's a me.
It's a me. We don't use last names anyway.
Yeah.
And this was an actual case, and I did my time, so fuck you. Nobody can complain.
Yeah.
So he tells the Mount Laurel Police Department that there's a black dude in distress stuck in. Now this is the first week of February.
Yeah.
It is 9 degrees Fahrenheit outside.
So Bleep is not in Brooklyn right now.
I don't know. I don't know where.
No, I'm saying when this is going on, he's in Mount Laurel.
I don't know. I don't know where he was, but I just.
But why
because
call Mount Laurel police?
Because he called the police and directly pinged the number,
Mm-hmm.
and Mount Laurel got a hold of it.
Yeah.
I don't know how the technological aspect of it all worked, but it did take a little
hire
bit.
people for that.
Yeah. That's why people smart is my dumb, and vice versa. But so fast forward to 3:00 in the morning that very same night, morning, whatever. And we get a big bang on the door. My roommate comes in. He says, "Dude, there's cops." I'm thinking they're fucking with me. Like, it happens all the time. They come in and fuck with me. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I got work the next morning. And he's like, "No, dude, I'm for real. There's cops outside." And no bullshit. There's 11 squad cars in a cul-de-sac. There's a helicopter off in a distance with a spotlight. And her brother is shaking because they're asking for him by name. And he just got out like 6 months ago.
Yep.
Like he's still jittery when I was like, "Yo, that's my seat." And he's like, "Oh, I'm just kidding." But like he
was
would
18 too at this point.
Yeah. Oh, dude. And when I tell you, I had to convince them that it wasn't him. They're like, "No, that was me doing the prank call. It's his phone. He's got." I'm like, "Listen." He was like, "There's no way it's you." Blah blah blah. Because I'm 5'6".
Yeah.
Whatever. Like I don't sound like a big black dude or whatever. And I go, "Listen, motherfucker, it was me. Leave the kid alone." And these cops, now mind you, in all of this time happening up until they get to my front door, they have scoured the woods of Mount Laurel for an imaginary black guy stuck in a tree in sub-zero temperatures. They're all pissed.
Yeah.
Thank God I got into the sergeant's car, and he's like 15 years on the force. He's like, "This ain't even the craziest shit I've seen this decade."
Yeah.
And thank God, because they wanted to fuck me up. So the next
chopper out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
So okay.
I remember somebody telling me this story. It was
let me
wild.
finish. So let me finish. So they 11 squad cars. They're scouring. So they couldn't find this guy. So they called the state trooper barracks, and they got an infrared equipped helicopter to scour the woods. And they showed on court images of like fucking deer through the woods on thermal.
Yep.
Bro, it was so many resources for something so fucking stupid. And then I get bailed out. I have them grab my wallet.
Racist thought right now, but okay.
Oh, I'll put it on pause.
I don't care.
How racist is it?
No, you know what? This might get me canceled.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pause.
How racist is it?
It's pretty bad.
Okay, well.
It has to do with the infrared camera.
Well, we can always clip it out. Now, you know what? Let's
clip
move
it
on.
out. Clip it out. Mario, clip it.
Mario, clip it. Let's move it out. All right, that'll be our word for clipping things out.
It wasn't even a racist thought. It was just like a logistical thought.
So to end off the story, the next day I'm on probation, and I was almost done probation, and I was on a first name cell phone basis with my PO because I was clean for 5-6 years at the time when it happened. So I'm bringing people to her. I'm helping her with cases and whatnot, and she calls me and she goes, "Dustin, what the fuck?" And I'm like, What's up? And she goes, "Have you read the Burlington County Times?" I said, "No." She's like, "Have you seen the news?" And I said, "No." I said, "Did you call a drug counselor and tell him you were going to kill yourself?" And I said, "What? No, absolutely not. This is why I hate the news, and this is why I don't watch actual media." They said I would call a drug counselor and impersonated somebody saying I was going to kill myself. And you hear the recording in court. At no point did I say I was going to kill myself.
This went to court?
Oh yeah, dude. It's citing false public alarm. It's like a terroristic act. Like it's like calling it a bomb threat.
What was the? Can you tell me what the end result was?
Yeah, I paid a hefty restitution fine. Luckily, I was clean and selling cars and working, and I had money. Like I had my fines paid off in 2 months. You know what I mean? I was good. Like it wasn't anything
it's
like
it's a prank phone call, man. How the Jerky Boys get away with it?
Well, because I guess they just exclusively didn't cater to meth heads. You know what I mean? That's all they just didn't entertain meth heads or call them or get their number. Like I just happened to have a couple of paranoid people in my phone.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an amazing story.
Thank you.
It's my favorite story. It's wild.
So back to the infrared camera.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's get the racist shit out of the way.
Why is that?
And then we roll.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be racist. But my question is, the infrared camera, right? Does it pick up body heat? Is that what it does?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if like someone's cold-blooded, though, right?
I mean, it'd still pick up a a different
Like
temperature.
like frogs are cold blooded,
Yeah.
right? Is that what they say? Blue blooded.
Reptiles
Yeah.
are cold blooded.
Yeah, reptiles.
Right. Does
And
it pick them up to gingers?
I don't know. My infrared knowledge is.
Okay, I'm a cold-blooded Jew. I just want to know if it picked me up. That's what I was trying to figure out this
I'll tell you what.
entire
If
time.
it doesn't, I will, buddy. I got you.
Okay, all right. That was
Yeah.
a super racist
Yeah, the
thought.
girls
I was
will
wondering if I was cold-blooded, if it would pick me up. It had
Yeah.
nothing to do with the black guy. You guys are fucked up for thinking that.
You said it's gonna be racist. Don't.
Yeah,
That's-
you like
it's
built
called-
it up to this really
It's
big
called
thing.
a
And
misdirection.
here I am, like the worst person ever. Like, ooh, I like racist. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then you're
found
like, I'm
out a lot about
cold-blooded.
You guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude, that's a great story.
Thank
Oh
you.
my
Yeah.
god.
Thank you. It's a true one.
Yep.
I almost need to embellish nothing. Maybe a little bit of mannerism and some of it, but most of 98.9% of it is true. And I swear to God, I thought your brother
I
was
don't
gonna shit his
understand.
pants.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they're angry at you. They got paid.
Because
they got paid overtime.
Well, yeah, but they got paid overtime to root around in the frozen Mount
Yeah.
Laurel wilderness looking for a guy that never existed at any
Did
point.
they get paid?
I mean, I'm sure they do.
I can understand you paying for. Now, this is the Jew in me speaking, but I can understand you paying for the gasoline for the helicopter.
I had
That's a
I had to pay for
Yeah.
the helicopter deployment. I had
Right.
to pay for that overtime. It was like $17,000.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, what about the officers and stuff? They got paid money.
Well, I mean, I also feel fucking kind of bad. And looking back on it, I feel kind of bad that they spent 7 hours in the freezing cold. You know,
Yeah.
that's.
I don't feel bad. They're idiots.
Well, no, the guy who
They
called
listen.
it.
They listen.
No. In their defense, they were looking around for a dude apparently, and the sergeant was telling me on the ride into booking. He's like, "No, we got a crazy guy who's always out in the woods missing and shit." So we thought it was him,
Oh,
and I was like, "Oh, great! So there's a real person out there that could possibly be in the woods that I've
Oh,
alerted
maybe you
them
would have
to."
saved his life if he was out there.
If he
You think about that?
was, they probably would have never showed up. You know,
Yeah.
they'd be like, "We got our guy." Like,
Yeah.
just hope to God he's black. You know.
Jeez, that's terrible.
Yeah.
They were like, "You were lying about your
Yeah, we
description.
gotta
You guys
go.
got to get going."
Yeah.
We gotta
All
go
right.
and tell jokes.
Like and share this video if you guys want to follow Susie or Mike or on anything. I will have their links. I'll have their QR codes.
Yeah.
Any information you guys need, please let me know.
Yeah, thanks for
That
having
Mike
us.
was
Thanks
funny.
for coming. I
At
really
the
mean it.
Ginger Rapper.
Thank you
Yeah.
for having
And
me.
listen,
Absolutely
hopefully
awesome.
this goes further and this doesn't look nearly as shitty as it does now. It's just going to get better progressively,
Yeah.
and you guys come back and watch it grow.
Yeah.
Let me know when you need some guests on
I'm
yours.
blocking your
Yeah.
number.
Or, you don't have my number yet.
Well, I'm blocking.
I'll give it to you so you can block it.
Yeah.
See you, folks.